What up, Bulls Nation? We've got live CHGO Bulls postgame coming up right now. The Bulls take another tough L on the chin. 123-116 is the final. They fall to the Hornets in Charlotte in an NBA Cup game that had no stakes other than a regular season game that brought the Bulls record to 9-9. We will break it down next. What up, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls postgame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. CHGO Bulls postgame presented by Michelob Ultra and Bet365. The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra and download the Bet365 app. Use promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Yeah. I'm Peck, Bulls _Peck. That's Big Day. Bow. BAWL Sports. Will to go Gottlieb on the end. Will _ Gottlieb. And on the controls tonight, it's the one and only queen of them, Sarah Bear. What up, Sarah?
The Bears beat the Eagles today.
The Bears beat the Eagles today. And
yes.
Newsflash, if you're a Bears fan and a Bulls fan, only one of those things matters. But we are here to talk Bulls nonetheless. Shout out for joining us after that gross one. Hit the like button. It's free, even if you're mad as a Bulls fan right now.
Especially if you're mad.
You have a right to be.
Yeah.
Because the Bulls just lost to another bad team.
Yeah.
They played down to their competition. Shout out Chris Farley. When are we going to stop pretending like the Bulls are better than some of these teams that they're losing to? Because I'm ready to stop pretending.
Yeah, that needs to stop being said. Honestly.
Anybody else ready to stop pretending that they're better than these teams?
That needs to stop being said. Until they show differently, that needs to stop being said. They're proving they're not better than any of these teams. They're proving that they're either on that level with these teams. Hey, Julia. Either on that level with these teams or below that level with these teams. I mean, you just got ran by the bum-ass Hornets. Like, come on, man. Like,
don't forget about the New Orleans Pelicans.
Like, oh, I haven't. Not at all. Will, I was about to get on my soliloquy. I know Go likes to step in on me. You know what I mean? When I'm speeding.
I'm
like,
just trying to lob him
go,
up to
go,
you,
I'm already shooting, baby. The shot is up.
All right.
Get the rebound.
Apologies.
Get the rebound.
I'll get some offensive boards.
There you go, baby. Get your Giddey on.
Those are free against the Bulls.
That's true. These are facts right here, baby. These are facts. But my God, like 2-3 in these last 5 games against these teams that when we were looking at these next few games, we were like, oh, well, the Bulls have a chance to get back up in these standings, with these teams. Nope. Losing to these true bum teams and being slayed by them, giving up 70 in the first half, giving up 67 tonight again in the first half.
Broke that streak of 70 points allowed in the first half.
But it's so ridiculous. What's that? Did we just see 11 straight games of 120 points they've given up?
That's the first time it's happened in 35 years.
One of 11 NBA teams to do it in NBA history.
Good job.
Like, you're on the wrong side of history right now, Bulls. They just look bad, bro. Like, and I don't want to sit here and say that, it's because of people they're missing. Like, people would try to throw that out, like, are you missing a Okoro? Are you missing this and that? No, bro. Like, it was happening while he was out here, too. These things were still going on. These problems aren't being addressed.
He hasn't been out for 11 games.
Yeah. And now these questions that I asked earlier, I'm seeing people in the chat starting to ask these same questions I was asking before about being tuning out your coach, about Modest. Like, yeah, we'll get into Modest for sure. But, yeah, man, nothing looks like it's clicking with each other. You got Coby White back. Like, things are supposed to look a little bit different when you get Coby White back on the floor and back on your team. Kobe's doing his thing. Like, Coby is out there, doing his thing. Giddey is out there doing his thing. But defensively, they just look putrid. They can't defend the 3. They can't defend the mid-range. They can't defend. They damn sure can't defend inside. Can't defend in the transition. Like, can't defend in the half court. Can't defend in the full court. Like, can't defend on the bench. Like, nothing is working, especially defensive-wise for the Bulls. They have a lot of issues they need to attend to, GOAT. And it feels like, for me, it starts on the defensive end, but it can honestly start anywhere for this team right now.
I mean, the defense is the one thing that you like have to be able to take with you every night. Like you can't just afford to, and it's not so much like a effort thing or like a competitiveness thing. I think it's just like a lack of talent. Like we talk about this on offense all the time. They need a star player. They need like a top 15 guy. They need a, all-star caliber player. And by the way, I think even that would probably not be enough, but they just like, they can't rely on working hard and like thinking that's going to lead them to a bunch of wins. Like they're just not talented enough. I think it's a roster construction issue. I think they are doing everything they can, but at the end of the day, there's just not enough there. And I don't think that this is like who the Bulls are necessarily. Like I think they're not going to, they're 3-7 in their last 10 games. I don't think they're going to win 30% of their games moving forward. I think they'll probably go through stretches where they catch lightning in a bottle and maybe not win 5 in a row, but maybe rattle off a couple of wins and look really good and look really compelling. And we'll sit here and say, oh, have they figured it out yet? And then they'll go through a stretch like this where they look pretty bad. And they're playing down to the level of their opponent and they're not defensive rebounding. I thought that was better today, but the fourth quarter, that was an issue. Yeah. I actually wrote about this in Instant Reaction, so I'll just bring it up. They held the Hornets to 5 offensive rebounds in the first 3 quarters combined. They've given up 18.75 offensive rebounds per game over the last 4, 75 total. So they were doing pretty good through 3 quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, they gave up 5 more, and that just so happened to be part of the nail in the coffin. So it's like all these little areas where you can't just let go of the rope and not execute on all of the tiny things you need to execute. And I think the stuff about like margin for error and they can't like afford to not like, it's not just one area, it's every single area of the game where they need to be pretty much close to perfect in every single category throughout every single minute of all 48 every single night. And it's an impossible task. I mean, you're just not going to be able to do that. But can you do that more than your opponents? And the last 10 games, the answer has been absolutely not. They just have not done it. They played a half. They've, made a late run to get themselves in, or Vooch has hit a game-winning shot, or, somebody else has missed a game-winning shot, or the Blazers fell apart in the last minute after overtaking them. It's like they're getting lucky in some of these games. They're getting unlucky in some of them. At the end of the day, that happens throughout an NBA season, but can they get to a level more consistently of like the stuff that we saw in the first half of the year, first 5 games in the year, I should say. And they haven't looked anything close to that.
Yeah, nowhere near it, man.
Johnny in the chat saying Modest is miscoached. They neutered his best traits and are trying to make him a spot-up 3 player, which isn't what he wants to do or excels at doing. And meanwhile, Liam said that another modest mid-game, another game Bulls fans not caring because he's so young. Oh, and Giddey needs to play better defense, yada, yada, yada. Well, I mean, Giddey is one of all of the Bulls who needs to play better defense, Modest included.
Yes, correct.
This team collectively on the defensive end is trash and has been for a dozen games now. Yeah. You've given up 120 plus in 11 straight games. Yeah. That is not on one player. Yeah. It's also not on one player, Isaac Okoro, missing the last few of that, again, dozen, right? I'm sorry. Getting Okoro back and or getting Zach Collins healthy for the first time this season is not going to fix this. Yeah. As far as, critiquing Modest's game and or worrying about the fact that the Bulls coaching staff is neutering him, that's an interesting thought because he did play 30 minutes tonight and only took 8 shots. Coby took 23, Josh Giddey 16, Vooch 11, and your other starter, Kevin Huerter, took 4. Modest bricked 5 threes that he took tonight, all 5 of them, was 3 of 3 inside the arc, did get to free throw line, but not a ton, 2 of 4 at the line. But another game where Modest just looks passive for long stretches. And it's, I guess, a question of how good did Bulls fans want and expect him to be? How big of a part of their offense did you expect him to be? Like, we know that the defense is a problem. Until that changes, we don't need to, beat that dead horse. But Bulls fans care about the development of Modest right now. And do you feel like he and or the coaching staff are doing things incorrectly right now, Dave?
Do I feel like they're doing things incorrectly? I wouldn't word it that way.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's incorrect, but I don't agree with some of the things that they're doing. I can say it like that. And for me, it just really stems from that mid-range. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but play it again sound. That mid-range is an important part of his game, an important part of Modest's game. I went back and I watched stuff he was doing last season, and I watched stuff he was doing with the G League Ignite when he was scoring and things like that. There was mid-range there. There was a comfort level of mid-range there. And it feels like he was doing that to get to that comfort level of getting to the bucket, of taking those 3-point shots. And it's like some people have to do certain things so they can, get into the flow of the game. Some guys, it's getting to the free throw line and it gets them into the flow. Whatever your thing is, it just felt like that from Modest. Again, it's just me observing and watching. And it feels like since he hasn't done that, ever since I heard him say that about Billy on the young man in the three, I promise you I've been watching with an eagle eye to see if that young man has been taking mid-range shots. And that was 5 games ago? I've seen one. And it wasn't really a mid-range shot. It was just kind of a hook, kind of layup kind of thing. So there was no real shot that he took, to get him into that kind of flow and things like that. It really does remind me, and I don't want it to be this, but it reminds me of what I saw from Lowry when he was here. Go shoot your threes, get to the bucket, get these rebounds, you know what I mean? But be a part of it, but not just really one of the focal points, you know what I mean, of the offense. If you score and you're doing well, great. That's awesome. But, not be that real guy like that. Just stemming off of hearing Modest and what he wants and how he says and things he wants in his career, that's not how it needs to be done. Modest is a guy like, yo, man, I'm going to be the best. Well, the best don't, sit in the corner all day. The best don't just shoot threes and have, only 2 moves to that game, which is go inside or shoot threes. They have other parts of their game, other facets of their game that allow them to be to that level. I've just seen a change in that this season, and it alarms me, man. Like, because I want to see if he's going to fail your way. It's how I look at it. Like, if there's something wrong with the game, yeah, change that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, that's not working for you. Cool. That's all right. Flip that. That doesn't work for me that way. Great. But, man, if it was a part of his game that was just really a true part of it and it's taking it away, I don't know, man. It really bothers me. And of course, there are people much smarter than me that do these things, but, just from what I'm observing and what I'm looking at, I just simply don't like it.
Well, let me just say to that in that section of the podcast, Modest was talking about his welcome to the NBA moment. So
yes, correct.
That was, to me, something that Billy said last season, at the start of his career.
Correct.
So
correct.
I don't know that would necessarily have as much to do with his shot selection.
I'm just stemming it from ever since I saw him say that.
That's what you've been thinking.
That's what I've been thinking, and it made me watch more this season what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I know it definitely came his rookie year, and he was very specific about the shot. And Stefano put up, what the shot was. So it was just very specific to that. But it's just that ever since he said that, I started watching it more and legitimately just one shot.
No, I mean, I think that's it's a tough balance to strike, right? Because you don't want to take guys out of their game. That's what we praise Billy about, is being adaptable to his talent.
Yeah.
And so if you're saying that a player is not allowed to do something that he feels comfortable, is that adapting to your talent? For me, I think you just need to be at a certain level of good if you want to take those shots. And we don't have to get into the whole thing again, but just I don't really feel like it's been had too much of an impact on the recent performance. To me, I just think he's been kind of not as impactful on the game. We just haven't really seen him he's had a couple of dunks here and there. He's made a couple of threes here and there. Tonight he was 0 for 5, but I just don't really feel like he's been able to hit his shots. He hasn't really been, he's turning the ball over. He's not I think he needs to get more into the flow of the offense. And I think when we talk about the identity and the way that they've been playing lately, I don't think the team has been there. And so
Agreed.
I think Modest has the best opportunity for Modest to excel is for him to be a part of the Bulls offense the way that they were looking during the first 5 games and in preseason. And the Bulls have not looked like that as a group. And so I think to me, you can draw a line to say, if the team plays to that style, Modest is going to play well. If they don't, he's going to have a hard time because he's having to do a little bit too much with the ball in his hands, or he's creating, or he's sitting in the corner and waiting. I agree that that's not the best use of him, but I think the best use of him is to get back to that style of play that they showed success with. So I think the big question is why can't they do that? And I think it goes back to the defensive side. If you're taking the ball out from under the basket every single time, you can't get out on the break. If you're having to send 5 bodies back to the defensive glass because you keep on giving up 15, 18, 21, 25 offensive rebounds in a game, you're not getting out on the break. And so for me, it's you got to do all the little things that happen throughout the course of each possession, not give up the runway to the rim. That prevents you from having to pull help over. That prevents you from having to be out of rotation, scrambling, find a guy to box out. Now everybody's got to go box out and they can't get on the run. There's so many things I think that lead to each of those possessions in a way where like the offense for me is very much informed by what happens to them on the defensive side, and they have not been able to stop anybody. So I agree that Modest has not looked great. I agree that he is not as involved as I would like him to be. But for me, it starts with the defense. And I don't think Modest has been that great on defense either. Like he's blocking a couple of shots, but he's part of the problem in terms of letting guys get to the rim and that breaking everything down. So I think everybody, Modest included, needs to be better defensively, and that will help them get better offensively.
Merrick Joe in the chat saying Modest needs his feet in the paint, cutting in mid-range. He's 6'10" and athletic, for God's sake. With that, let's knock out our first ad break. We'll come back on the other side, dive into more thoughts from tonight's game, take a look at some specific players. Let us know who you want us to talk about, what you want us to talk about. Throw us a super chat if you're feeling generous tonight despite the outcome. Hey, the Bulls may have lost. The Bears are 9-3.
9-3.
9-3.
Bam.
Throw us a super chat if you want us to talk about the Bears on tonight's Bulls postgame show. Either way, hit the like button. It's free. Here's some ads.
Hey. It's a thing.
Yep.
Being good is fine.
Sure.
Everybody likes it.
Sure.
You can be great.
9-3, but
You know,
9-3 Bears great?
No.
Okay.
Eagles great. They're they can be great.
Yeah.
But the Bears are ultra. 9-3 Bears. It's only one way you can be ultra. Be a member of the Chicago Bears or sip a frosty, cold Michelob Ultra. Because it's your lips. Well, this can of bottle, baby. It's full throttle. Well, Big Dave, why are the Bears so good? And why is Michelob Ultra? What makes it ultra? Well, Bears are Bearsing because Ben Johnson likes taking his shirt off and twisting around his head like a helicopter, baby. That's why. And the other question, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories of superior smooth taste, worth playing for. It's the official American beer sponsor of your Chicago Bulls. So you can grab a Michelob Ultra because no matter what you're playing for, you make it superior, and you do that with Michelob Ultra. You be ultra magnetic.
Today's show also brought to you by Bet365. And with that early payout offer, you're a winner if your football team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So download that Bet365 app. Use promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. They've got something for every NFL night of the season. Thursday Night Football, $10 safety net bet. Sunday Night Football, $365,000 jackpot. Get in on that.
Get it.
And, of course, who can forget Monday Night Football, where there's a 50% super profit boost token on same-game parlays. You can double your winnings on parlays with Bet365's 100% parlay boost. Boost it, baby. So what are you waiting for? Download that app because when you do and you make your first $5 bet, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets. Win or lose that first $5 bet, don't matter. You're getting $150 in bonus cash either way, and you can use that bonus bet on just about everything there is to bet on. Must be 21 and older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, and don't you forget that promo code CHGO365. We're back. CHGO Bulls postgame rolling along on Friday night. Bulls suffering a tough loss to the Hornets. But we are here to talk about it. Thanks for being with us. Hit the like if you didn't do it during the ad break. And a quick reminder for those of you who haven't heard the word.
Bird?
That's right. The word of the bird and on them streets is that we have our CHGO Black Friday sale going on right now. Shout out to the diehards who took advantage of the early access earlier in the week.
Shout out to
and
you.
shout out to you not yet diehards, soon to be diehards, who have started taking advantage of it yesterday and today.
Right on.
It's running throughout the weekend, right into Cyber Monday. Save up to 90% on select items and 30% site-wide, plus some pre-sale items you can claim dibs on right now that just dropped. And shout out to everybody who's already chipped in. Things are selling like hotcakes everywhere, and you can do it too. Sarah, did you throw the merch link in there? Look at that.
I made it pretty easy
on
for
the ball.
everybody.
Buy our stuff.
Just click the link.
It is Black Friday. There you go. There is the link to our ALLCITY Network store in the chat. Take advantage. The sale ends Sunday.
Yeah.
And then Cyber Monday. Don't sleep, though.
Hey.
You doing any holiday shopping, Dave, with the Black Fridays?
Sure. Yeah. No, I did have to do something. It was my brother's birthday today, so I had to get him something.
There you go.
Today, so happy birthday, bro. Love you dearly, bro.
Happy birthday, bro. Isn't he a big fan of our Sub-Zero hoodie?
He is a huge fan of our Sub-Zero hoodie. Huge fan of the Bulls. Huge fan of the Bears. A lot of my sports fandom comes strictly from him. A lot of that comes from him. Huge influence on my life. Continues to be.
Shout out to bro. Everybody get your shopping done now. New shirt?
New shirt alert.
New shirt alert.
Shirt alert.
Oh, dropping soon.
Look at it.
Guys, we got him on a shirt.
We got him on a shirt.
Oh, man.
Oh, I like it because all three of us contributed. That's why I like it like that. Yes, all three of us got up in there. Yeah, well done. Well done.
like it.
I like it a lot.
Red, white, and black, baby.
Look,
Bulls colors.
Emma says it's
What are you? Go home. What are you still doing here?
Blackhawks are here. She's doing her job.
Bless your heart. Wait, so are you saying if it was just us left here that you would be home,
yeah.
but because
Oh, yeah.
That's
the
exactly
Hawks
what
are
she
here?
That's exactly what she's saying.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
We won't tell anyone. You can go. Oh my goodness! Shout out to Joe Mama who threw us a $4.99 super chat, saying the most frightening scene in The Exorcist isn't the crucifix scene. It's how I feel when P. Will dribbles and hurls towards the rim. Oh, that's a good super chat. Yeah, P. Will did have himself some P. Will moments trying to put the ball on the floor today.
Oh, good.
It
5 points in
happens.
13 minutes though. That's pretty good.
I mean, heck yeah. I guess.
Word.
I mean, 3 offensive rebounds, 5 total.
5 rebounds is, yeah.
Call the news.
Shout out to him for
Oh
that.
my goodness.
Yeah, good job.
Good job, I suppose.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, he's still ass. He's
I
still
somebody in the chat earlier on said, like, my gosh, Pat can't do anything, not an NBA player. And then the person right under them in the chat said they need to extend Patrick Williams. He's the only person out there making threes and playing defense every night. That's debatable. He plays defense sometimes.
Yeah.
He makes threes sometimes.
Sometimes.
He was 1 of 3 behind the arc tonight.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
But
After dribbling it off his foot, he came back down and hit that three.
it was after the oh dear God Pat turnover that he came back down the floor and hit a 3.
Came back,
So
hit the three,
kudos to
man.
him for hanging in there.
More lead, please.
But, like, I mean, when you talk about reliable three-point shooting, the Bulls have been a team that's fluctuating, I think, with their three-point offense.
Nice to say.
I think tonight that disparity is what cost them the game. Because you're right, they did have some poorly timed letting go of the rope on the defensive boards tonight, Goat, allowing those 5 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter after only 5 through the first 3, and just crucial stops that they needed to have trying to come from behind a little bit. But when you look at it, like, they outscored the Hornets in fast break still, despite those slippages on the boards, and they outscored them in the paint. Free throw line, they were 6 makes shy of the Hornets 20 to the Bulls 16. The Hornets made 15 threes. The Bulls made 8. That's a 21-point separation. And that's a very familiar story from days gone by when we would sit here and talk about the Bulls losing behind the three-point line every night, night in and night out. That hasn't been the case as much. And I did see somebody in the chat earlier talking about the Bulls chucking up shots or taking bad threes tonight or too many bad threes. They only took 36.
Yeah.
I would say that there were some not great threes. Javon Carter took a couple of questionable ones tonight.
Melo Ball took a couple.
But like 36, that is an average, if not kind of like on the lower side of average as far as 3-point attempts per game.
Yeah.
But we keep talking about the Bulls getting good looks. Billy Donovan has been harping about shot quality. But, I mean, they had a pretty terrible 8 of 36. You shot 22% behind the three-point line. It's hard to win in today's NBA when you do that. That is part of what contributed to the Bulls' 5-0 start because their opponents were chucking up bricks.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Remember?
They like the first.
No, nobody remembers.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just locked in on some stats here, man. Sorry about that.
Lock
it in.
I was locked in on basketball.
Clang,
records. The first
Probably about-
11 games of the year, the Bulls did not attempt more than 43 threes. They hit 40 twice. The rest was in the 30s or 20s. The last, 7 games, 50 three-point attempts, 53, 49, 43, 44, 50.
Right.
And then today back to 36. So I would have to go back and like rewatch all of them to really get a sense of whether or not they were quality. But I do think that there's something to be said for the idea that they're probably doing a better job getting downhill, trying to get to the rim and trying to finish. And then the 3-point shot being like if you can't get this, then look for that. So like the second option. There's going to be nights where you're not hitting threes. The Bulls are a 37, 38% 3-point shooting team. They have been all year.
Sure.
Tonight, 22%, 8 of 36. It's going to be tough to win on those nights. It was an example, though, where I agree with you, Matt. Like, the free throws were pretty even. The turnovers pretty even. The offensive rebounding pretty even. It was just like they couldn't hit shots. And as we've talked about before, at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. And so if you're just missing shots, I did think they did a good job getting to the rim and finishing there. But 22% on threes, like you're making 7 fewer threes than your opponent. That's 21 points. You're just
21.
down in the hole.
Yeah, it's a problem, and it feels like different ways they found different ways to like kind of lose. Like, of course, there's been a consistency in the losing, just like there's a consistency in the winning for what you're doing on the floor. But it just feels like sometimes I can point to a different thing each time and say, "Oh, yeah, that's a huge reason." So tonight it's like 3-point shooting. Please remember offensive rebounding. You know, it's a huge piece. Free throw attempt discrepancy. The Bulls are towards the bottom in opponents' free throw shooting attempts. Like, if they're not 30th, they're like 29th. Like, it's not great. Of course, the way that these teams are getting more attempts at their field goals, like Bulls are 30th, you know what I mean, in opponents' field goal attempts. So you saw it again tonight that as soon as the Hornets came out, I mean, the first 5, you know what I mean, went straight to the Hornets, and they just continued the attempts and more attempts and more attempts and more shots. And, of course, that comes also with the offensive rebounding that they get that. But then the 3-point shooting that's happening for the other team as well. So even if you do get that rebound, you're missing it because you're not hitting your shots. There's just a myriad of ways to be bad. And it feels like the Bulls are keyed in on all those ways right now. And it just isn't clicking, and it just isn't truly working for them right now. I don't know the answer to it. Honestly, if I did, I would say it loud, very loud. But it's just a whole way. The entire repertoire of the way to lose games like they've been doing. Yeah,
that's what Vooch was saying the other night. It's like you can do everything right and still miss a shot. You can have the perfect offensive possession and still miss a shot. Or you can play 23.9 great seconds of defense. Everybody executes perfectly. Everybody gets to their rotation. Everybody slides. But they make a shot. And that's what happens sometimes. And that's why it's like I didn't feel like the offensive rebounding was egregious tonight like it was against the Blazers. I didn't feel like they were putting the Hornets to the line every single possession. It was like, who made more shots? And, you know, actually the Bulls made more shots. It just so happens that 3 is greater than 2. And so
that's what Mav says.
The thing is, like, all those things can be true. And I think the answer is they're just not that talented. Like, they're not a super talented team. And so they have to rely on being perfect in all these areas. And so when you're losing in, as you're saying, Dave, a myriad of different ways, any one of those can unravel you.
Yes.
And I think that's the issue with not being a talented team.
Don't disagree.
It's a tough pill to swallow if you believed differently, I think.
Okay.
And, you know, we're not even to the 20-game mark yet.
That's
but
true.
we are closing in on being a quarter way through this season.
Crazy.
The Bulls are 9-9.
Familiar territory.
They've got some really impressive W's.
They do.
And they've got some stinky doo-doo L's.
Doo-doo.
What does that all add up to?
A doo-doo.
A mid-team with a mid-coach and mid-talent on the floor. Some of us thought that would be the case. We'll see if it changes, but right now, this last stretch of games, that very much seems to be the case.
And it's
and that's not just one bad shooting night or such so-and-so player played bad defense tonight.
Right.
No, it's everybody's playing bad defense for a dozen games now, and you had a worse shooting night than your opponent on a night when neither team said, let's play defense.
Yeah.
That's literally what happened.
It's true. And I mean, at the beginning, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be 150, 148. Like, it just felt like that. But it feels like
the Bulls said 22%.
Yeah, we got you. No, we won't do that. Oh, but yeah, even when they were winning games, it's like, you know, finding ways to win and finding ways to lose. Like, and we talked a lot about them playing up and playing down, you know, to their opponent and having those big games. You know, you found out they were like, man, we get up for this stuff. Like, yo, can't wait. We got to come out. We got to battle these teams. Can't wait to play the Nuggets. You know, get ready for the Bucks or whoever. You know, whatever good team. Even in their losses, like, the effort wasn't questioned. You know what I mean? Like, okay, fine. You lost to Giannis. All right, you lose to Giannis, bro. But the effort wasn't questioned. You lost to Orlando. That's a solid team. You lost to the Knicks after, you know, beating them. But none of that was questioned as far as the effort of that team was concerned. It was just losses. Now you're playing teams where you're like, okay, you should be able to get off, you know what I mean, your bad situation, you know, and just get some wins. And now I'm questioning effort when you're playing these teams here because people are giving them, you know, kind of writing in the wins, you know what I mean, in pencil, pen, whatever you use, blood. But it feels like when they got here and got to the game, they felt entitled, you know, and like, okay, we're going to get this. It's fine. We're going to have this. Nope. These teams are coming out to win. They had won. The Hornets had won in like, what, 2 weeks? Like, it had been a while since they had won a game. The Utah Jazz weren't winning games. You know what I mean? Like, we watched Washington almost take one from them, and they hadn't won since GOAT was born. Like, it's been a long time. But it feels like they just continue to do this, and we continue to talk about why is it like that. And for me, it goes to preparation, and being ready to play those teams. And that stuff, for me, falls on players and coaches when you're not prepared to play. And or you come out with an idea like, oh yeah, we about to run this team, like they ain't got nothing for us, we cool. Well, who's gonna run? Who's running for you? You know what I mean? Like, who's doing it for you? Like, it's not working that way. And these teams are turning to the Bulls and saying, no, you don't know how to play defense. No, you can't stop these 3-point shots. No, we're getting all of these rebounds. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. And these losing teams are playing in that effort way and attacking the Bulls in that effort kind of way. And the Bulls aren't doing it back to them, man, and they're walking away with L's.
I think the most simple way I can put this is on the season, the Bulls are 23rd on defense. Over the last 2 weeks, they're 25th. Okay, that's not good. That's very bad, and it's like hard to win games like that. And in order to do that, in order to overcome that or compensate for that, you just have to be really good on offense, right?
Yes.
They're 16th on offense over the last 2 weeks, 18th on the year. Like, they're just not good enough on offense to overcome how bad they are on defense. And like, I think that's just going to be kind of how it is until they start to figure something else out.
Y'all got to lose.
Yeah. All right, let's knock out our second ad break right there. When we come back, still more thoughts on tonight's game. We got a couple of super chats. We will get to those. Plus, I saw somebody in the chat just say, start talking about trades. Well,
boy, do we have a segment for you.
We got a little teaser of our chat with Tim Legler from earlier this week talking about a very specific trade. AD haters, brace yourselves. Hit the like button while you listen to these words from our friends and sponsors. It's free. CHGO Bulls is brought to you by Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Our friends at Sunnyside are here to elevate your football season. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. They've got a crazy selection with over 100 different strains to choose from.
That's a lot.
That's right, I said 100.
He said it.
Variety is the spice of life. Plus, they offer easy online ordering and in-store pickup. Wherever you are in Illinois, Sunnyside has a location for you. They have spots as far south as Champaign, far north to south of Beloit. Stop into the store nearest you for expert guidance from their staff. Shout out to their location on Clark, right in the heart of Wrigleyville.
Right there.
Just stone's throw from my place. Head to their website for bright buys every day, including getting 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Just use promo code HICHGO when you check out to qualify. For returning customers, use code CHGO5050. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 and older, and Illinois MedCard holders.
Athletes. 2 questions for y'all. One, isn't Sarah Bear the coolest?
Yes, she is.
But here's the other questions. Are you serious about leveling up your game?
Serious.
Are you serious about it?
Sarah Bear's
Guess
serious.
what? Sarah Bear's serious about it because right coach can change everything. And you can find the right one just for you at Eye on the Bow. All right? Doesn't matter if you're just a kid starting out or competing at the top level. You sign up totally free at eyeontheball.net. Create your profile. Search through all the coaches there for the sport that you play and connect directly with the one that is right just for yourself. From soccer to swimming to baseball to basketball, whatever you do, you name it, the coaches will be right there. So what you waiting for? You just asked yourself that, didn't you? And you didn't have an answer, did you? That's because you shouldn't be waiting no more, y'all. You should head on over to eyeontheball.net. That's eyeontheball.net. You can find your coach and take your game. You know, you can take it to the next level.
We're back. CHGO Bulls post-game rolling along on Friday night. Thanks for being with us, Bulls Nation. Hit that like button if you didn't do it during the ad break. Something else that we could plug, we got a couple of fun things coming up around the corner here at CHGO Bulls.
Word.
The Bulls are playing Orlando, who they beat all the way back in October, game 2 of the season. They are playing the Magic again on Monday.
Yes.
After this holiday weekend.
Yes.
We are to do a live watch-along for their show. Live game, tip-off, I believe that's going to be – is that a home? Is that a 7? Let's see here.
No, we're at the Magic.
We're at Magic, so that's a 6:30 tip.
Yes.
So we'll be right here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, for a live watch-along to watch that with y'all. Hang out with us in the chat, watch the game together, and then, of course, we will have some post-game thoughts on the back end of that per usual.
Yeah.
But so that's coming up on Monday of this coming week. And then Thursday of this coming week, we are doing a fun event in person out at the Players Bar and Pub in Prospect Heights.
Yeah.
Something we call Papa Shot Showdown, a happy hour with us.
The GOAT tournament.
Presented by our friends, of course, at Michelob Ultra. So come on out if you're in the area or if you feel like making a trek for a little Thursday, a little Thirsty Thursday?
A little Thirsty Thursday.
A little Thursday pre-weekend hang.
I'll be a little thirsty.
Players Pub and Grill, 1250 South River Road in Prospect Heights, starting at 7 p.m. Chicago time. We will be there, free to attend. Don't need to RSVP, but you can hit us up in the chat, on Twitter, in the Die Hard Discord, wherever. Let us know that you're coming and come enjoy some nice beverages. Get a few shots up.
Get some shots up,
while we
baby.
talk about the Bulls' three-point shooting problem.
Oh, that's it. I call this the Will the Gottlieb tournament.
Will
Ladies
the
and gentlemen,
Gottlieb.
there's nobody who has been a greater Papa Shot player, champion, however you want to put it, than this fine gentleman over here. I can't wait to see that skill be put on display. He is about that life. Y'all better bring your
Although,
A-game.
Point of contention.
I will say.
Did Dalen not beat you when he came to hang out with us in studio a few
I was just
weeks
about
ago?
to
My
tease
point
it.
is,
If you're
an NBA player had to come up in here. They had to bring a ringer up in here.
Another point of contention.
To beat
Oh,
this
wait,
dude.
I didn't beat him. I beat you when we were out in Vegas, right?
Yes. So,
Okay.
No. Yes, at Summer League.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I knew I
Become-
beat somebody.
Yes.
Become a
It's like somebody
member-
lost. Somebody took that L, baby.
Become a member of our YouTube channel, and you can go watch that video of Dylan giving me the work. On
Mm-hmm.
the Papa Shot.
And speaking of becoming a member of things, why not become a diehard right now? $36 sign-up offer. Use promo code GOAT, G-O-A-T, to get access to all of GOAT's great writing and coverage of your beloved Chicago Bulls, plus the free shirt of your choice at sign-up. You can pick the brand-new Modest design we have, Chicago's own, and 20% off every other time you shop in Emirates store after the Black Friday sale is over, where we already got savings on savings and whatnots. And then, of course, tailgates, everything else we do, fun events-wise, discounts for diehards. Become a diehard. Promo code GOAT.
Sorry, I just read a super chat and I was trying to figure.
Would you like to read it out loud instead of just to yourself?
Sure, I can do that right
Go
now.
for it.
Joe Mama.
Oh, it's AK.
You know,
AK!
shout out to you, sir. Appreciate it. P. Will, rookie year, show promise. Second year, not so much. Modest rookie year, show promise. Second year, he's in regression. Is it an organizational problem?
I really effing hope not is my answer right
See,
now.
You see why I say, huh? Yeah.
I really effing hope not is my answer right now.
Okay.
I will say I was never as high on Pat when I was believing in him to a degree as I am high on Modest.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that I continue to feel that way about Modest.
Mm-hmm.
It's 18 games.
Sure.
I'm holding on to my Modest stock. I'm not going to
Yeah,
sell my
not
Modest
selling
Buzelis
anything.
stock
Yeah.
after a little dip,
No.
early on in his sophomore NBA season.
Mm-hmm.
I am concerned about some things, and some things it's like, he's a 21-year-old player,
Yes.
entering year 2. We were talking with Legs in that same mini pod episode and he was talking about just like growing into his grown man's NBA body,
Yeah.
and the physicality in this league at times presenting a challenge for him on both ends of the floor.
He did say this.
We also see him use that physicality, size, sprite, and some craftiness on the ball now to get to the rim at will. But it's not whenever.
Yeah.
And it's like he gets cooked on defense sometimes. So
Filleted.
is it an organizational problem generally across the board? I'd say yeah. Is it specifically a problem that makes me worry about Modest right now? Not yet is my answer.
That's safe to say. Organizational, sure. I mean, you could call it that. Again, I'm a firm believer in when something is working, everybody gets it, and then when something's not working, everybody kind of gets it. So you can say that, but again, it's so early. I think that's why I'm mad. I don't have that feeling of concern or just like, oh man, like I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see a little bit more from him. But I don't just have that feeling of, oh, God, sell everything, get off the boat. This is the worst ever. I don't have that feeling yet. Maybe probably because of the 18 games, but just because of the skill set that the young man has, that I know that he has in his game, I don't really have that yet. So there have been some flashes. Today even he did a move where he got to the rim, put it up with that left on that center, which, like I said before, that is turning into his go-to move when he's getting to the bucket. Is that left-handed layup, man, like creating space for him. He creates that space and then gets to the rim with that left hand. So yeah, I don't have that concern yet about his game, but yeah, I do have like, oh my God, I need to see a little more because I'm not liking what I'm seeing out there from him. I wanted to see the other things that we kind of saw more of, and that fire also of Modest Buzelis, I want to see up a little more too. That aggression, I want to see it up a little more too. Not to say he doesn't play with it. I just know I've seen it when he plays with it, always and constantly all the time. And sometimes it feels like he's still kind of figuring stuff out, finding stuff out. And maybe he's a little tired because Goat was putting it too. Like, guys have to attack the glass now. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got to attack the glass and try to get these rebounds and do it that way. And he's never been a great, rebounder. But, again, Modest is going to do whatever's necessary to try to get this team a win, try to get it a victory. Mm-hmm. But in those situations, I want to see a little bit more of that stuff, man. I want to feel him more. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I want to feel Modest more on the floor. I've said this before about him. Like, he's had a game where I didn't feel him out there.
Want to go to the
I
bay?
want to feel him
Make
more.
things out of clay?
Yeah. Eat some hay?
You just rhymed like
just
6 times in a row.
I got it like that. But,
Bars.
Yeah, man, I just want to feel him out there on the floor. Like, every single time, every single night, consistently, I want to feel that Modest Buzelis impact on the floor.
I mean, I think that's really fair. I'm not ready to, say anything definitive about Modest. It's been a stretch of games in his second year. He's young. He has played better in the past, and I think he will be better than this too. To me, if you're going to talk about concern, I wouldn't say so much about the Bulls' development of young players in general, although I think that is always something that teams should be concerned about. Yes. To me, it's their drafting track record as a whole. I mean, you look at Arturas since they've come in. It was Patrick Williams. It was Io was a hit for sure in the second round, but they also got Marko Simonovic that year. That was a miss. You have Dalen, you have Julian Phillips, who you traded multiple draft picks to move into the second round to get. They just haven't been a good drafting team. We've barely seen any of Noah. Yeah. Modest, I think, has the potential to be the best player that they draft, and I think it's obviously going to be great for the Bulls if he hits. But he's averaging 14 points a game and starting in the NBA in his second year. I think it comes down to expectations a little bit. And there was all this hype going into the season. And so I think that kind of set people up to be disappointed when he was just okay. But I think that even if you asked, last year, if Modest, before the end of last season, if you said in Modest's second year, if he's averaging 14 and 5.5, would you be happy with that?
Be super happy.
I think most people would be happy.
Sure.
But I think to your point, Dave, it's that you haven't really felt his presence.
Correct.
Especially of late. So I think he'll be better. I think the Bulls will be better. I don't think they're going to look like this all season.
Right.
But I do think that in order for them to actually be good, in order for me to buy them as a real team and not just a team on a hot streak or on a cold streak, they're going to have to do it more consistently. It's just, it hasn't been there. And I just don't think that good teams play this inconsistent. And I don't think good players are that inconsistent either.
Shout out to one of our regulars, Anthony, in the chat, who brings this up. Can we also critique how Billy just has Modest standing at the three-point line, getting benched most of the time he makes a mistake, and he has played completely different since Coby came back, MIO. Again, standing at the three-point line, sometimes he also made a great baseline cut, and Giddey found him for a great dunk in the first 90 seconds of the game.
That's true.
Let's see more of that consistently. And if Modest is 0 for 5 from downtown on the night, you're going to see that and think that's not great. Stop chucking threes, go inside. We've also seen Modest have nights where he lights it up from behind the three-point line.
And that's why you can't measure his success off of makes and misses.
Yes.
There's so much more that he has to do throughout the course of a game. And all of them, it's not just Modest, everybody defensively, being in the right spots at the right time, boxing out, all this stuff that frankly, everybody is letting up on right now, and that's why you're seeing the results the way that they are.
But Anthony's second point about since Coby came back, Modest looking completely different, I pointed out earlier tonight, Coby took 23 shots tonight. That is a lot of shots. Modest took 8. I think we talked about that being a potential silver lining of, Coby White's going to be out a while as this season gets underway. Where are the positives there? Could it be that Modest Buzelis is more involved in this Bulls offense out of the gate in year 2 of his career? Because that's what I was thinking about as find the good of Coby White not being out there, because we know how lethal he can be and how much he can create and does create on the ball. for the Bulls offense over the last couple of years, and especially since the Zach LaVine trade last season. And I also saw somebody else say, like earlier in the chat tonight, Coby was driving too much, trying to like shoot over 7-footers too much, was forcing shots tonight too much. It's not like he had a terrible night. 11 of 23.
Yeah.
Could be better, but also, like, I don't think he was, like, wildly selfish tonight. He did only have 4 dimes, but I believe he started the season with 3 straight games with at least 7 assists. So it's not like Coby's going out there ruining the Bulls' offensive flow and just turning into a chucker.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I totally reject that notion.
yeah, I think that's not true.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead.
No, I don't think that's true at all. I think that, first of all, they need him to be a scorer. Like, they don't have a scorer on this team. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. At the end of the day, I think you need more points than your opponent in order to win. So they need somebody
Blasphemy
to be
goat.
a scorer, and
How dare
Coby's
you.
the best one on the team that can do that.
Freezing cold takes.
He's also, I think, been really, really good at getting to the rim. Like 1 of 6 from 3. I'm not worried about that. I know what kind of shooter Coby is. To me, like, I thought he was pretty good getting to the rim. His body control and finishing and strength and balance, like all this stuff where he's able to change pace, stay on balance, and finish through contact. I want to see him get to the line more. He was only 2 of 3.
Yeah. Yes.
But I don't think that, like, when I said that their offense has not been up to the standard that it was before, I don't necessarily mean that it's been like iso ball or that they haven't like resembled that. I still think that they're trying to do a lot of those same things. It's just not with the same force. It's not with the same tempo getting into screening actions, moving the ball around. They're still doing it. It's just not as snappy. And I think when you lump that in with the idea that they're not getting as much in transition, they're having to take the ball out.
Yes.
They're just moving a little bit more slow. It's like they're just a half step slow of what they were at the start of the season. I think a big thing could be just like, is it possible to play at the pace that they want to play throughout the course of a season? Or is that going to be something that's just too exhausting? Yes, they have depth. Yes, they are a very well-conditioned team. Yes, they've trained for it. But at the end of the day, we haven't seen that same level in a while, especially consistently. So I think that could be an issue. But I'm not worried about Coby at all. And I don't even think he's like taken time to integrate himself into I think he's just been really good. And you can play well and not win. Like, I think two things can be true.
No, it happens. I wrote about it in our breakdown of this game tonight in our instant reactions, just how happy I am to have Coby White out there on the floor and how good it is to have somebody I can say, oh, here's the basketball. We're not scoring right now. Can you please go score for us, sir?
Oh, is this person immediately our team's best scorer?
Yeah. Immediately
Like,
when he walks out.
Like, it's like,
this is Coby White, bro. Like, he's balling, all right? Yeah, no. Absolutely not. He fits right in seamlessly.
With that, we've got to knock out one last quick ad break. When we come back on the other side, final thoughts on tonight's game. Plus, tease a little chat we had with Tim Legler earlier this week about all things Bulls. Don't want to miss it. Hit the like. It's free. We'll be right back. CHGO Bulls is brought to you by Branded Bills. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, shout out Big Dave, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. Looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd? Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need. They have a partnership with 40 different colleges, including 10 Big Ten schools as a part of their campus collection. The Big Ten schools include Ohio State, Minnesota, Illinois, let's go Illini, Indiana, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan State, Penn State, Purdue, and USC. And with our collab with them, we already have an awesome Bears navy and orange CHGO cursive hat that is my favorite of my hat collection. It's my favorite new hat.
It's the best.
They got a Hogan Johns hat that they got rocking with Branded Bills. You can get that too.
Yeah,
you can find those at our merch store. You can also find it at brandedbills.com. Head to brandedbills.com. Use promo code BBCHGO to get 15% off your first order.
You know what? I absolutely love Monarch Money. I love it so much. That app has just done wonders for me as far as my financial literacy. It has done amazing things for that, y'all. Like, it will line it up. I traveled a lot last week, so I filled up a little bit more. Monarch Money sent me an email like, looks like you're over budget on your gas, sir. Looks like you're $34 over budget on there. I'm going to need you to bring that right on down. They know they will set your budget for you, or you can set the budget yourself, I should say. It's just an amazing, helpful, wonderful tool. I love it so much, man. You can get control over your finances with Monarch Money. You can use the code CHGO at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year with monarchmoney.com. Use the code CHGO.
CHGO Bulls post-game rolling along Friday night, breaking down the tough loss to the Hornets. Shout out to Grant Atticus, another one of our regulars in the chat, who said, burn this team down. Let's just reset while next year's draft looks good. So somebody else in the chat earlier tonight say, Boozer Jr. looked pretty good out there on that UC floor in that college action last night.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Imagine Stacy. Boozy.
Boozy. We did have another couple super chats we didn't get to yet. Let's just knock those out. Chop Me with a $15 super chat from HK. Appreciate you. Say Billy's 4-guard lineup is puzzling. Carter, fourth quarter minutes, ? How many minutes did Javon play in the fourth? It couldn't have been that many because I think he only played like 10 on the night.
Yeah.
He played a ton. He also, I thought I watched him take and miss 2 threes tonight. He only took 1. Missed, but 2 shots. I mean, I do wonder if there's some line of thinking within Billy's brain of like, look, our defense is trash right now. It's not going to get any trashier because Javon Carter's out there and he might hit us some shots.
Played 5:48 in the fourth quarter.
I mean,
it's kind of wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
It's a solid strategy.
But like, what else does that say though? Because that is one of the other things, along with losing behind the 3-point line tonight. The Bulls lost this game because their bench lost to the Hornets bench. And so maybe Billy was grasping at some straws in the fourth quarter. Who wants to step up and decide that we should not lose this game? Bueller? Bueller?
Want to play?
Carter? How about you?
No, I think that's spot on. I was going to bring that up as well. Trey Jones played well, 16 points, 4 assists, 5 steals. Io was not great tonight in terms of shooting, 2 of 7 from the field, 5 points. Javon Carter had 2 points. Patrick had 5, and Jalen had Smith. This was like a huge strength of the team. Everybody's talking about the best bench in the league and all this stuff. Like, again, it's the consistency. And there's going to be nights where you just don't hit your shots. I think a lot of it is just that, but just very lethargic. And I feel like you typically could rely, or at least in the first 15 games or whatever it may have been, you could rely on the bench to come in and provide that spark. And it didn't really feel like they had that. In this game, you look at the plus minus and, most of the starters are in the plus and most of the bench are in the minus. And that's not what you want to see from a team that relies so heavily on their depth, right?
Yeah, very heavily on it, man. And it's just weird for you to even say those words that they lost. You know what I'm saying? Their bench scoring lost tonight to another team, especially a 4-14 team on top of that. But that's what we saw. And so we know that if that's how the Bulls have been winning games as of late is their bench. When teams attack that now, then what do? This is why I've enjoyed Coby White, you know what I'm saying, so much being out there. And also Josh Giddey. Let me give Josh Giddey love. I haven't spoke about Josh Giddey in the game that he had tonight again for the Bulls, man. He was really good. I mean, 25 huge points for them. He got to the line 7 times. He was 6 of 7.
Kudos.
From the free throw line, man. But 3 of 7 from 3 as well. 6 of 16, but 11 rebounds and the 9 assists that he had, all defensive rebounds too. Like, that's the superpower. I'm going to get it and I'm going to go. But, yeah, he has absolutely been consistent for the Bulls with his numbers and what he's doing for the team. So, yeah, he's the starter. He gets things started. He gets things going for them. And he gets to the bucket and he scores when they need him. And he does not quit at all. Like, that dude plays until the final buzzer. So I can say that about him. I can say it about Trey Jones, you know what I'm saying, for sure. Those guys don't quit. They play to the final buzzer, man. So, Giddey had a really, really, really good game.
And I've been talking a lot about consistency on this podcast today. Like, I think Giddey's been the most consistent player on the team. He has not had really any dud games. He hasn't really been benched in the fourth. Like, he's been really solid and really consistent all year playing this way. So, totally agree. I'm glad we shouted him out because he had a really nice game. And I think that's a big step for him individually too, is to be able to play like this consistently. Because that was the question we had, was like, okay, you have the defense, you have the shooting, but like, can this drive sustainable winning? And him playing consistently to this style, again, you're not going to win every night. You can't. But like, can you play this way? And maybe that can lead to winning, or you are part of a formula that is a winning formula. And I think him playing to this level on a night-to-night basis is a big piece of that.
Huge. And big shout out Trey Jones, 5 steals for Trey Jones tonight, man.
Somebody was trying to play defense.
Yeah.
Shout out to Trey and shout out to Josh. He did he did play well tonight. We had one more super chat we needed to shout out, Sarah, before we get to legs. Our guy AK with a $9.99 super chat saying, to win you need talent and team effort. The more this team loses, the sooner Acme's faulty strategy of collecting other teams' spare parts can be put to rest. It's roster construction. P.S. Billy's contract is safe. I see no lies in anything that our friend AK said in that super
like
chat.
the way you worded that. Like other teams' spare parts. Like it's like a junkyard.
We do not require this Giddey anymore. Who wants them? AK, I'm me. Ooh, teach me. We do not require this Isaac Okoro anymore. Who wants them? AK, oh, please me. Oh, please pick me. Only player for player swaps though. That's my one rule.
That's the one rule, baby. We don't do it like that.
I agree with AK.
Got to be better.
It's about talent and roster construction. Billy Donovan again has his flaws. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah,
but I also somebody in the chat just said like if Billy's grasping at straws, that's not doing the same thing over and over. Playing Javon Carter 4-5 minutes of the fourth quarter, that's not the same thing over and over. Yeah. That would be different. That would be an adjustment. Yeah. The other night, he tried small ball, padded the vibe, didn't work. Yeah. Started Jalen Smith at halftime. Yeah. An adjustment. Billy makes adjustments. Billy tries lots of things.
There's just only so much he can do.
With his, spare parts. Spare parts don't win in the NBA. All right. With that, on our time remaining, we wanted to give a little sneak peek at our chat with Tim Legler earlier this week. He's going to be chatting with us every other week or so throughout the entire NBA season. Shout out to him for doing that with us and his busy schedule. Check him out also with our guy Adam Mars, All City's All NBA podcast on the daily. We talked about a lot of things.
We did.
But we talked about the Anthony Davis trade rumors because, of course, we did. Wanted to get Legs' thoughts on it. Sarah Bear, take it away. Legs on the Go Talk hotline.
There are a handful of teams in this league or less that fall into a category that I would say, man, you might want to really explore that. I think Chicago is one of those teams. And here's why. I do think there are limitations on the upside of their roster. It's not other than Buzelis, who knows, he's so young. But that's going to be a few years down the road before he hits that level, whether he does or doesn't. We won't know that for a few years. You look at their roster and you go, where is like that additional growth going to come from over the next year or two? That you go, okay, now we can get into the category with some of these teams that have climbed in the East, like Orlando, Detroit. Can we get up there with the Knicks and the Cavs? Can we be in that category, Boston and Indiana, when they get healthy next year? Anthony Davis could be worth taking the risk for a team like Chicago because his upside, when he does play and is healthy, and I know that's a huge if, is different than anything else you have on your roster. So for a team like Chicago, where I think there's limited additional upside individually across the board of your roster, Anthony Davis might be something that's worth exploring. Now, if you have a team that's got it going a little bit and they're like good and now they're thinking they want to contend and is Anthony Davis the right guy? But you got to give up two young guys that are starting for you that have incredible potential to take that risk. I don't know if it's worth it. For a team like Chicago, I look at the roster and I just don't know who on that roster do you look at and say 2-3 years from now, other than Buzelis, is a guy that you could say could take a huge leap and now we're right in the mix in the East. I don't think they have that kind of roster. Anthony Davis potentially could give it, but he comes with tremendous risk. Does he play 30 games at some point where the whole thing gets derailed? That's the risk, and that's what you have to weigh, and I think that's what they're going to be looking at.
That was our chat with the one and only Tim Legler. You can also catch him doing NBA on ESPN, part of that A-Team broadcast crew. They called, Rockets Warriors on Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Day before Thanksgiving. Great stuff. Talked about a lot of things. Talked about Modest, talked about Coby, talked about this Bulls up and down start. Sarah Bear threw the link to the entire mini pod episode that we did with Legs earlier this week in that chat, so you can go watch the whole thing after we wrap up postgame if you haven't caught it yet. Thoughts, gentlemen? I see, brace yourselves. Well, too late to brace yourselves, Bulls fans who don't love the AK or the AD trade idea. I think Legler speaks a lot of truths there, including the one at the end, which is we all know that there's a big injury risk attached to this.
Yeah, it's a risk. You know what I mean? Just like any other trade you'll take, it's a risk you're taking. But obviously, the health of him is an absolute risk. But again, it's why I asked him the question, because I need somebody else to break this down outside of us, because Obviously, we're idiots according to people. But, well, let's hear from Tim Legler, who is not that. And Tim Legler, like him breaking it down in that same kind of way that we were saying, like, dude, no, we don't want to give up 2 stars or 2 of your young guys with that upside potential or anything like that. But, what do you have on your team that is in any way an equivalent to what he can bring you? Even, like, just name it. I would love to hear it. And it doesn't exist out there. So, yeah, man, it makes sense to me that they should explore it.
Before Goat weighs in real quick, just a reminder as we head to overtime in postgame, if you are watching on one of our various streaming partners and platforms, thanks for tuning in. If you want the bonus coverage, just head to allchgo.com. Goat, your thoughts on Legs' thoughts there?
I mean, I'm glad that he didn't call me dumb. I think if you were to think about, like, what are the options here? What are the possible outcomes that the Bulls could go? I think, like, selling off some parts for rebuilding or maybe mortgaging out your cap space to other teams to take on bad contracts to get picks, consolidating some bad contracts. I think I'd probably rather go that route in terms of, like, loading up on assets and, like, going towards the bottom. I don't think that this team is, like, good enough to really fight. If they had gone on, like, a, better start after that 5-0 start and, like, continue to play well, I think we'd be talking about a different thing.
100%.
So I think that's one of the pathways. You could go to the bottom and, like, use your potential flexibility and cap space to get some draft picks and, like, think about this upcoming draft, which has, like, 3-star level talent at the top. Or you could continue on doing what you're doing and just, like, building slowly, not really investing, not really stripping it down, but continue on this path to evaluate what you have, see how good Giddey can get, see how good Modest can get over the next couple of years, and then make a decision. A more patient approach. Or you could be a little bit more aggressive and try to push some chips in. I think, like, to me, the middle route is just, like, I get it. And I think, generally speaking, I'm willing to be patient, but I don't feel like, I guess I feel like I have enough of an answer about what this team is now to where I don't really need to be patient. Like, I know they're not good enough. So if you're unwilling to go this route and, like, kind of strip it down and get some extra picks, and your options are just be patient or try to push some chips in, for a player like Anthony Davis, I think that probably makes some sense. I would not give up Coby. I would not give up 2-3 first-round picks. I would give up the Blazers pick and maybe one more. See if you can get off of Patrick Williams' contract in there. I'm not, like, using this as an opportunity to, like, think Anthony Davis is the difference between the Bulls and a championship.
Right.
But I think it's, like, a step that you can take to maybe get to the next step. Maybe you make the playoffs this year with him, and then you're able to, like, actually get some experience of, like, high-level competitive basketball as opposed to just regular season competitive basketball. Maybe you're able to win a series and, like, actually have a fun, productive year. And then maybe you make another move and that pushes you further ahead. So to me, if you're making me rank choice them, I would probably go, like, rebuild. I still think that's probably the best path. Then push some chips in, but not too many for Anthony Davis, and then keep on going forward and maybe waiting and seeing, because I think the flexibility is going to run out. And then where are you? You're just kind of like running it back with the same team. It's just like, we know what this is. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're a great team. I think they're going to have lulls. I think they're going to have moments where they rattle off a few wins and people get excited about it. But at the end of the day, I think this is who they are until they get a star player. I think Anthony Davis is a star player that fits really well next to Giddey, next to Coby, next to Modest, who could actually make them a pretty solid defense, if not a great defense, right away. And then you're erasing a lot of these questions that we've been talking about all show.
Yeah, no, I love how you said that, man, especially the flexibility of that, because flexibility also hinges on potential. And at some point in time, that's going to run out. You know, those things run out, and you have to capitalize, you know what I'm saying, on that. So
the flexibility is expiring. Like, you think about contracts as expiring contracts, the flexibility is expiring because once those contracts expire, then you got to make decisions with it. And would you rather re-sign Herter and Collins and, you know, Javon or whoever? Javon's not a free agent. Or yes, he is. In any event, like, you could either re-sign your guys or maybe, like, make some fringe moves and get the next Jalen Smith, or you could, like, make a real move and, like, try to be better. And I feel like that would be preferable. I also think I get, like, people don't want to do that. I get that people are averse to, you know, putting chips into the middle for this team, but I've watched this team long enough to, like, be pretty comfortable with understanding who they are and what their ceiling is. And it's been the same since CHGO Bulls started. Right. So, like, I'd be more interested in, like, seeing a more competitive version, or I would be more interested in them, like, leaning into an opportunity to get someone in the draft, which they have not yet been able to do.
Mr. Bad Guy in the chat, AD isn't worth the risk. Eric J93, AD is a no for me. Now, if AD and the Mavs agree to a buyout and the Bulls sign him on a decent deal, wouldn't mind that. Jeff Cassins, if we could trade Coby and Vooch as the core components of an AD trade and not give up much draft capital, I'd do that. Doubt Dallas would. Chicago Bulls Nation 2. They won't tank. They won't take risk. That equals play-in and drafting between 13th and 18th pick every year.
By the way, I think that's exactly the path that will happen.
Yeah, exactly. So Timothy Jones saying AD is absolutely worth the risk. Johnny, hell no on AD. Would rather stay the course, i.e. tank without trying to tank, and get a decent draft pick. Grant Atticus, we've been doing the middle route for 5 years. Hit the reset, please. So that, to me, as all of those comments that came in, we appreciate all of them. They're all valid in their own way. You're entitled to your opinion. Ain't worth the risk when you're talking about AD specifically. What risk? What are you risking? What are you risking? Seriously.
That's exactly
Oh dear God. Oh, we might not qualify for that 9-10 play-in game for the 4th year in a row. What the hell risk is that? Oh, we can't risk giving up draft capital while bitching about AK's draft status and resume on the other side of your mouth. Mm-hmm. Oh, Coby's not a winner. Coby's not going to win this league for the Bulls. We shouldn't re-sign him. Vooch is trash. Trade them both. Well, no, we can't trade them for Anthony Davis. Like, what? Make it make sense, Bulls fans. What is your reason for not wanting to give it a try and then make it make sense? Like, dude, AD's playing in this Mavs-Lakers game as we speak right now.
Yeah.
I understand the injury risk, but if your alternative is stay the course is mid for the rest of time.
Yes.
AD stays healthy, it works out, and the Bulls are better than without Anthony Davis because when healthy, he's still one of the best players in the freaking league. Mm. Or he gets acquired by the Bulls in a trade. He doesn't stay healthy. They bottom out, and their draft pick is a little more valuable next time around. Like, again, I'm not some huge Anthony Davis fan and some huge fan of this trade, but when Bulls fans are like, no, we must stand 10 toes down on what we have. We got a 9-9 team that just lost to Buzz City and the Pelicans, all right? Mm-hmm. Is that something you really want to hold so, dear God, hold on for dear life tightly to, Bulls Nation? What are you holding on to? We got nothing. We got another play-in tournament appearance on deck. Yeah. Who else is sick of those? Because I am freaking sick of those. Oh, God, we got to hold on to our super valuable assets and roster pieces. Get the hell out of here with that crap. Why not try something else?
9-3 Bears.
9-3 Bears.
Brought them back. That was a bring them back.
9-3 Bears.
That's like an Inception, the spinny top.
Megalovatos.
There it is. Like, look at the spinny top, man. There it is. 9-3 Bears, man. He does have a good point. Yes, absolutely, Jeff. Absolutely. What are you holding on to, guys? What are you holding on to?
I couldn't agree more with Matt, honestly.
Yeah.
Matt and I think pretty
Sarah Bear?
similarly, I think, on the team.
You know why?
The Bears.
It's because you're smart.
Because great minds think alike. That's
right.
why.
I do think that, like, it's going to be very interesting to monitor this trade deadline and next summer. I've been saying this for a while, but, like, this is the Bulls' chance to make a move. I think part of it comes down to, like, when do you have the flexibility in order to do some of these things? Like, over the last couple of years, I think we all wanted them to make a move at some point, whether it was a trade away or try to add to this team that they had constructed, but they had zero flexibility. They couldn't move any pieces because it would make them worse, and they couldn't trade any pieces because they were already out future draft. They had nowhere to go. Yeah. And so you have this flexibility. That's great, but it's not like you wait for a couple of years and then you like, okay, I know what I have in Giddey and Modest. Now I can make that move. By then, the contracts will be re-signed. Like, they won't have the flexibility. Correct. So, like, the timing element of it, I think there is sort of some pressure and urgency with that. Mm-hmm. But I also think that the Bulls front office right now is just not in a position where they're willing to take any risks. And I think that's a dangerous place to be. When you're not willing to make the team better, even though you do have the flexibility, that's where you're showing some true colors. And I think that's why this trade deadline and this summer in particular are going to really tell you something about, okay, they got their extensions. They know they're locked in here. Like, they don't have anything to worry about job security wise. They have the flexibility. They have all their future draft picks. Like, they have the ability to make a move. And so now if they don't, now it's like, okay, well then what are you doing here? Like, what is the plan? Where are you going?
somebody just said, Tamar in the chat, they really had us fooled at 5-0. This team ain't it. Eco Bean, after these past 3 games, the Bulls must make trades. Meanwhile, Juan Miller saying, talking like AD will stay healthy is like talking as if the Bulls will go into luxury tax. No one's talking as if AD will for sure stay healthy.
Yeah, we continue
We're
to
all
say it's a
talking
risk.
about the fact that it is a huge inherent risk
it's a
that
risk.
you'd be taking.
Yeah.
But again, it's the upside versus what you're giving up. And like when it comes to, I get Bulls fans have the PTSD about injuries and whatnot.
Sure.
But again, it's the risk of what could you be gaining versus where are you staying, which I just don't really understand. Like I don't.
I don't either, man.
We'll see. I mean, the trade deadline's still a ways away.
Yeah.
We got time. We'll see what else happens as the Bulls try and get themselves out of this little funk they're in.
Time in another game.
Yeah, that's right.
I also think like by the time the trade deadline comes around, this narrative about the team is going to be very much different than what it is tonight.
Okay.
You know, probably, ideally, hopefully.
Right.
But like, there's a lot of season in between now and the trade deadline. A lot's going to happen. Whether it's a lot more of the same, and you really feel like if this is who they are on February 5th, and they're 500 team, and you're like frustrated about them every single night because they're playing this caliber of basketball, I probably am not like investing a bunch of picks into an older player. But if they have a chance to like, you know, maybe make it outside of the play-in and be a real big boy playoff team, then like maybe it is worth it. Well,
and if you are a Bulls fan who thinks that they should shake up this roster before the in-season trade deadline and like, well, I don't love Anthony Davis because of the attached injury risk. I get that. But if that's the only reason not to do it, and then you are trying to argue with yourself that you would rather stay put with this roster than take that risk, that we'll get a better player, get a different. Think about why AD is on the trade block right now, essentially this early in the season. 'Cause he's a veteran who has an injury risk. He has some money still coming his way, and he's on a team that had such a bad start that they are looking towards Cooper Flagg in that future of theirs.
Yeah.
Less so Anthony Davis. And, oh, by the way, just fired their front office and are starting OVER. If you're talking about your team that's stuck in mediocrity hell like always and wanting to change course, you got to deal with the realistic options that are available to you. No, let's get one of those non-injury risk superstar players who's on a team-friendly contract. Why can't we get one of them?
And take Patrick Williams.
Because they don't goddamn exist, that's why. Bing. All right, let's get out of here. Appreciate you, Juan. You rock. Thank you, everybody, for the chats, the super chats, the likes, and everything else. Appreciate you engaging with us every night, even on the ugly ones like tonight.
Especially the ugly ones.
That's right. Instant reactions up now. Give them a read. Free for all CHGO.com. Become a diehard. Use promo code GOAT, G-O-A-T, to sign up with the $36 sign-up offer so you can read all GOAT's great stuff. Cover this team. Follow him, Will_Gottlieb, Big Dave Bow, BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Queen of the Controls, Sarah Bear.
It's Black Friday still.
Yeah.
It is still Black Friday for another 90 minutes.
Yeah, another 90 minutes of Black Friday.
What do they call the Sunday between the Saturday Sunday between Black Friday and Cyber Monday? Is there a name for that?
Just waiting for
Rest?
Cyber Monday.
Waiting for a weekend of shopping.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, so head to the store. The link is still posted on our YouTube channel. So easy and click it and buy things.
Very simple.
Yeah, very simple.
It's right there.
Shout out also to the other Queen of the Controls, the one and only Katie Duffy,
Ah, yes.
Oh,
who blessed us
here.
with an appearance tonight. She dipped out before postgame started.
She didn't get
Y'all
to where
might not
she
believe
was
us.
by being a good dummy.
You know, she wasn't.
She was in her cute
She
little
wasn't a
Thanksgiving
ghost.
outfit.
She wasn't a figment of our imagination. She was here.
She was here.
She says she misses y'all.
Oh.
Did you cry?
No, I give her a great big hug though.
I
It
literally
was a
gasped
surprise.
when
I
I saw
didn't know
her.
she was coming.
I didn't know she was coming either.
Delightful.
Yeah, me neither.
So good to see her. Y'all tune in to the Athletic NFL show.
Yes.
Doing great work
She
over there.
running things, baby.
All right. Guess what? We get to try again tomorrow
Yeah.
against the bad team Pacers.
Yeah.
Who I think just beat up the Zards. So Bulls only beat the Zards by one.
Yeah.
Let's see how that one unfolds.
Oh, man.
Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't done it yet.
Be a
Have a
spicy
great
show.
night. Have a great start to your week. And we will see you for Saturday night Bulls post-game action. See you, Red. Be good.
Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.